We've all heard the legends. The cursed vampire destined to stalk the land, looking to feed upon the living. A monster, a horror in the night. But what if those were all largely lies? What if vampires had to have permission to feed? What if vampires were bound by magic cast in ancient nights? What if vampires were largely people who wished to make the world a better place? What if vampires were tarnished with a brush painted by their enemies? In this Powered by the Apocalypse game, you take on the role of a vampire who is bound to various principles. These principles are magically entwined with your very being, and you must adhere to them or waste away. To feed, you must have permission. To enter, you must be invited. To use your powers, you must gain the trust of the humans you feed upon. For without their permission, you are a powerless wretch waiting to dissolve into dust. In May I Enter, we flip the tropes on their head. Yes, the night is filled with horrors, but you are one of them that is pushing back against the dangerous and the evil. You are seeking something new, something greater, something wonderful. You are also searching through the remnants of the ancient vampire civilizations that once covered the world. These primordial vaults are filled with treasures, and with these treasures, you can fight back against your enemies. Get to the vaults before the real monsters of the night get to them first. We invite you to join our community on Kickstarter. Yes, you may enter. Hi there, I'm Josh Heath. I'm the creative developer for May I Enter, a vampire game. I came up with a concept of this game a couple of years ago on a whim, thinking about what I would like out of a vampire game that was different, right? That was looking at the concept of vampires from a different angle. And I asked myself this question: what if vampires had to be invited to do the various things that they do, right? They have to be invited into a house. What if they have to be invited or at least given consent to do everything that they do? And it initially was a neat thought experiment. I put together an outline, and it seemed like a cool idea. Earlier last year, I decided, yes, this is the game that I want to work on. And I created a much deeper outline. And then I got speaking to Alice and Saib, and they were the one who actually did most of the writing for this game. After taking out my outline, working together, we came up with what is May I Enter, right? This game went from what if a neat concept to an incredibly well-developed Powered by the Apocalypse game that's got a lot of intricate levers that mixes a little bit of old school Renaissance role-playing into the idea of a more classic vampire political game, right? In things like the World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade, right? You have vampires who are very concerned with the political and social things around them, right? That is the main thing you do in that game and many other vampire games and urban fantasy games, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's a strong element of that in May I Enter. But we also had this idea of these primordial vaults that have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years from a previous vampire civilization, right? And these vaults are something that you have to explore. You have some sort of connection to them. We explicitly, in the GM guidance, the narrator guidance for the game, we encourage you to tie those ideas thematically, the things in the vaults thematically, to the stories that you were telling on the surface, right? Those things connect with each other. So if there is a political rivalry with a vampire king or queen on the surface, the vaults that would be present under that city are related to something similar in ancient vampire past, right? And we have this idea that the world is tied to ours. It is effectively ours in a lot of ways. There have just been a few of these vampires and other supernatural antagonists throughout the years. And largely humanity is your main antagonist, right? Humans are not bound by any magical rules, right? But your vampires are. Your vampires have to work through this idea of active consent to take action in the world. So hopefully you are as excited as we are about this game. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns. We are happy to engage you while this Kickstarter is going on. And I am really, really excited for this game. And I hope that you share it with others because I think they're going to be excited as well.